avoid statements that may incite or promote hate. We encourage constructive points of views and criticisms that aim at providing solutions to problems facing the country. We do not want rumor mongering or information that is regarded as hearsays. We advocate for messages of peace and unity among the people of South Sudan. This is iRadio, your eye on South Sudan.
The Dawn on iRadio.
Right, a very good morning to you and welcome to the second half of the Dawn program here on our radio live broadcast from the capital Juba. I'm your host Emmanuel Joseph Akile, and today is Thursday the 30th of October 2025, coming to 19 minutes now after the hour of 7. Now, in the second half, the Dawn, we're going to talk about peace. And, you know, we've been talking about the revitalized peace agreement and its implementation, some of the pending tasks, some of the outstanding provisions for its implementations being negotiated in many countries, including Addis Ababa, Khartoum in Sudan, taken some part in Kenya and in Uganda briefly. So what about us as South Sudanese having our own peace initiative here in the country? Now we are going to talk about what is very important for you to know today is a homegrown peace initiative for South Sudan. And to shed more light, to talk about the important significance and how is this going to happen, I'm joined live in the studio by Right Reverend Dr. Zakaria Manyok, Chairman of Strategy Committee, South Sudan Council of Churches. It's good to have you with us in the studio this morning, Bishop. Welcome to our radio.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel.
Yes. Now, tell us, what is this South Sudan or the homegrown peace initiative here in South Sudan, and why is it even called homegrown?
Thank you very much. It started in March this year when the crisis of Nasser started. And the church decided to bring together the stakeholders because, you know, in the agreement, we have the parties in the agreement, those who were fighting. And you have the civil society and the church or religious groups and eminent persons. They are in one group. So we have three stakeholders, three major stakeholders in the agreement. And so we decided that we, as the non-political stakeholders, should come together and think about how to arrest the situation in the country, because at the time we were almost going back to war. So our Archbishops, the chairman of the Council of South Sudan Council of Churches, the Primate Dr. Justin Badia Rama, and the Cardinal, the Archbishop of the Catholic Church, decided to talk to the leaders, especially the president and the vice president at the time. And the talks were good, but we decided that now we must go beyond just the talks that are held when there are problems. And we had to sit down and we decided that we must have the forum for the stakeholders, non-political stakeholders. And it was that time that I was chosen as the chairman of the strategy committee, and my work was to see the things that can lead to a permanent peace, not the peace that we negotiate and then we go back to war, and how would the church really achieve this permanent peace. So I look into scenarios and together with the team, and The civil society organization are, of course, technical people when it comes to dealing with issues, and the religious leaders are moral authorities. So we decided after meeting with foreign governments, and they seem to agree that South Sudanese can solve their own problem. And in this process, the church is the one that is respected, and the church must play a role in the solution of our own problems. That is the idea of the homegrown peace initiative. Of course, we are different from the West. The West this time are postmodernists. They believe in postmodern values, but we are still pre-modern society. So when you come with the advice that are driven by postmodern values, you would have disagreements with the people who have pre-modern values. So we decided that now we will see how we talk as South Sudanese. And the group that is led by Lona decided to start a campaign of volunteers who are planning for the homegrown peace initiative. And the church is leading the process, yes.
Right. Now, who are those involved in this process? I mean, what do you want to achieve at the end of the day?
What we want to achieve is a permanent peace, a peace that would allow South Sudanese to move freely in their own country, do their own things, and not die every day for unknown reasons, not suffer not suffer in a country that must be good for everybody. And the church is, of course, we believe that not everybody is going to be president, but everybody must live and be happy in this country. So we are non-political, but we are aiming at the common good for all citizens.
Right. And how long do you expect this initiative to take? Like, how long have you anticipated as to, you talked about this initiative started from March, or the idea, but then how is it going to end? Like, when do you expect it to come to a conclusion?
It may not end soon. In our communities, when you have problems, for example, within a community, you have a problem between a clan and a clan, you discuss these issues among yourselves until they are solved. It is not like the peace talks where you give yourself a deadline and agree on something. It is something that goes on, and so we have designed it in a way that may develop the practice, not the political practice, but the social practice. So we have seen the institutions that may help. The first institution that we are targeting to empower is the traditional authority leadership. We want to have meetings with the traditional authority leaders in the three major regions of Bahr al-Ghazal, Equatoria, and Upper Nile. After meeting with them, we may form their association. They are in the law, in the local government law, as the Council for Traditional Authority Leaders. It's called Kotal. After forming this Kotal at those levels, then we come to the national level to form the national Kotal. And these people now will control the situation at the grassroots level the way they used to do it before the Liberation War. They were the custodians of the values. They were respected more than any other person, and now their respect is eroded by political leaders themselves. And so we want to pursue that as one wing of our of our solution. And then now for the religious leaders, we have interchurch committees at every level. So we want to utilize the interchurch committees to deal with the traditional authority leaders on the promotion of the peace among the communities, the homegrown peace. It's not just a political peace. It is a peace among the people. Like what happened in Ulit in 1999, it was that peace of Ulit that led to the comprehensive peace agreement.
Right.
But we want to do it more than the Ulit thing, because it is going to be comprehensive. So that's one level. We want also to talk to the associations. The associations are now more stronger than the parliamentarians. So these associations are civil society, but they are called community associations, like the Gian Council of Elders, the Nuer Forum, and you have the Equatoria Council of Elders. Now we want to talk to these councils, and we have already started with the Dinka and the Nuer councils. We will move to the Equatorial ones. When we have these people, they consider themselves as gatekeepers now. So if you want to go down to the traditional authority leaders, you have to cooperate with these councils in order to have a comprehensive understanding of the importance of peace. And then the last level is the highest level. And in this highest level, we will have to use the traditional way of advising. In the traditional African way of advising, the advisor should not be the ones who seek the popularity. You advise for the effectiveness of your advice, not the popularity of the advisor. So we will be meeting the political leaders, and we will be giving them our advice secretly, privately, because the postmodern style of advocacy is combative. And the African style is secretive. When you advise a leader in Africa, the leader would now turn around and do the thing that you have told him privately, and then they will be counted as his achievement. And that is what we want to pursue.
Right. Bring us about 30 minutes after the hour of 7. We go for this commercial break, and we'll be right back. Don't touch your dial.
In 2025, South Sudan is writing a new chapter in its economic story. Monthly revenue collections by the South Sudan Revenue Authority have reached an impressive 130 billion South Sudanese pounds. This success is powered by digitization, a nationwide e-government program launched in 2021 that modernized public services, strengthened data systems, and made revenue collection faster, safer, and more transparent. Today, corruption leakages are shrinking, efficiency is rising, and every digital transaction moves our nation closer to stability and shared prosperity. The South Sudan Revenue Authority calls on all government bodies, development partners, and citizens to accelerate the move toward full digitization. Together, through digital transformation and cooperation, South Sudan will move forward stronger, transparent, and united for progress. South Sudan Revenue Authority, digitizing revenue, driving development.
iRadio, for reliable and objective news from across South Sudan and beyond. You are listening to iRadio, bringing you programs that offer you an in-depth look at the issues that affect you. iRadio, your eye on South Sudan.
This is iRadio, your eye on South Sudan.
Welcome back from the break. You're still listening to the Dawn program here on iRadio, a live broadcast from the capital, Juba. 28 minutes to the top of the hour. And I'm still joined live in the studio by Right Reverend Dr. Zakaria Mnyuk, who's the chairman of Strategy Committee for South Sudan Council of Churches. Now, Bishop Zakaria, what is unique about this initiative? You earlier talked about UNLIT and you mentioned previous discussions or initiatives about peace agreement. So what makes this homegrown peace initiative for South Sudan so special? And do you think politicians are listening or will listen to you?
Yeah, the processes that led to UNLIT were misunderstood first, even by Dr. John Grant. The aim at the time was to bring together the faction of Dr. Riek Machar and Dr. John Grant, and especially the leaders themselves, John Grant and Riek. And John Grant did not understand the aim, the motive behind the campaign. So what the church did, and actually the current president was the one who understood it better. So John Grant decided that he would not provide security for the church leaders. And President Kiir, the current president, of course was the deputy at the time, decided to provide the security. But it wasn't a national thing. It was actually the unity, the reconciliation between the Dinka and the Nuer. So the way that it was done was like what we are going to do now. We started it with the traditional authority leaders and then religious leaders. Even the African traditional religious leaders, the magicians, the sorcerers, and all this, they were involved. We are even thinking about involving them now, simply because what we are doing actually is the common good. And the difference between what we are going to do today and the only thing is that we are going national this time. It's not a reconciliation between Nuer and the Dinka. It is the peace for all South Sudanese. That is the difference. But the style, the way that we are going to approach it may be the same. The other difference is that media at this time is more spread than it was at the time of UNLIT. And that's the reason why it is important to come to a place like iRadio and talk. You find the influence of people in the diaspora is more than what you had at the time. Now also, the people inside the state capitals and Juba are more influential than those who are in the villages. And they use the media, especially social media. So now when the style that we are using now is different, we are approaching it by talking to the people themselves and using the media also.
Right. ده الوقت اللي فيه نرفع بعض من المكالمات على الأرقام بتاعنا 11 أو 22 986 986. ضيف بتاعنا في الاستوديو هو البيشوب زكريا منيوكو، وبنتكلم في موضوع بتاع مبادرة السلام المحلية في جنوب السودان, Homegrown Peace Initiative for South Sudan. If you have any question now to our guest in the studio, it's time. It's from the Council of Churches. Radio
Emmanuel جوزيف أكيلة. صباح الخير.
صباح النور.
أنا متصل كشوك من جبل.
كشوك تفضل.
باهيك في استديو وباهي ضيفنا زكريا. أنا بقول كلاتي ده فكرة جميل, مبادرة السلام الداخلي اللي بنقوم به وناس الكنيسة. إيمانويل كنيسة ما خسر من توقيع بتاع اتفاقية السلام. كنيسة عمل صلوات 100 يوم. كنيسة عمل مبادرة بين السياسيين. كنيسة برضو كنيسة كاثوليكية بتمثل في الراهي بوب فرانسيس برضو جاء هنا, جاء برضو صلى للناس, صلى للجنوبيين كله يكون في سلام. أنا بشوف دور كنيسة دور مهم جدا. النقاط طرقوا البيشوب زكريا هو كلام كويس. لازم يكون في مبادرة بتاع سلام الداخل يقودوا كنيسة بين العشيرتين أو قبيلتين أو طريق جريتس إكواتوريا أبا نايل وناس بتاع بحر الغزال وتسمية بتاع جين كاسل ونوير. إيمانويل ده خطوة مهم لازم يكون في يعني زي السلام بتاع وين زي ما أقولوا قالوا قبل شوية زكريا، وكان مبادرة جميل ورجع النتاج بتاعه للجنوبين كله. فأنا بشوفه المسألة بتاعه بعدين يعني إذا حصل حدث يعني الموضوع بتاع المؤتمر ده بيكون كويس للجنوبين كلها. بين النوير ودينكا أصلا نازل ما عنده مشاكل، لكن عنده مشاكل بدائية يعني حاجات بلدية قديمة. ناس أخوان بيختلفوا وبرجعوا في البعض، وإذا كنيسة قام إنه يرجع بين النوير ودينكا أكيد جنوب السودان كلها بكون كويس. وبرضه ننسى زكريا في مشكلة الناس في التمبرة بين زاندي وبلندا كويس. ده برضه يعني إكواتوريا كلها بصورة عامة في إكواتوريا إنه سلام، ما في مشكلة بين قبيلة وقبيلة، لكن في مشكلة في إكواتوريا في غرب إكواتوريا ده موضوع بلندا وزاندي. نمرة 3 فكرتها بحر الغزال، القبائل اللا دينكا حتى نار الجور وفراتيت برضه في مشكلة. فأنا بشوفه خليه يزيد كلام ده في مبادرة ده، لازم يخاطب موضوع بتاع نار الجور ده وفراتيت وموضوع بتاع زاندي وبلندا. يلا موضوع بتاع نيرو ده أكبر مشكلة ولازم تنتهي. شكرا.
alright شكرا. نقاط مهمة اللي هو طرق فيه. راديو hello radio. Now, because of a number of issues that he raised, I think let me come back to you here, Bishop. Yes, you comment or respond to him before we can continue to get calls. Yes, go ahead.
I really appreciate the way he understands the process. I think of course, the prayers that we had were meant to ask for the intervention of the divine. And that intervention, of course, can illuminate your minds to think better. And of course, we believe our minds are now thinking better. We had been relying on outsiders for some time, and now we are thinking that our solutions will come from us. He talked about the problems in Western Equatoria and Bahr el Ghazal. These issues can also be tackled within the homegrown peace initiative. What had been the problem in the past was that you could get funding from the international community, and they would dictate the way you are going to carry out your peace initiative. But now we are thinking, if somebody is going to fund us, we are the ones to put the agenda and the way it is going to be followed. We are the ones to do it. But we will not be relying on money in most cases, because we will be connecting with traditional authority leaders and religious leaders at every level. So we may not use it like projects. We may need money sometimes, but there are times that we will be talking as communities.
So meaning the previous agreements to revitalize or the agreements signed, like it's more of projects or donor-driven agenda.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's what we want to change. We want to ask ourselves as South Sudanese, what is the benefit of fighting? If there is no benefit of fighting, like now, if you go to these communities, you will hear them saying the problem is coming from Juba because the politicians from Juba are the ones fueling the problem, which is true. But why do you accept? If you are communities and you believe that people who are in Juba have a different agenda, you have to sit down and say we refuse that agenda. And we have to stay in peace here so that we can survive. So these are things that we will talk about in these areas.
Right. نرفع المكالمات. راديو. Hello, radio. Yes, get back to us on 0911-986-986. Remember, we're also live on our Facebook page. You can also drop your comment there. Radio.
Hello, just good morning.
Yes, good morning. David Magog, welcome.
It is good that you brought Abuna in the studio, and I have some few questions to you. Number one, if you not kanisa de say salawat bitakum de Rabuna gad basma, lokan gad basma, lekal junubin zede kun tabani sab zede kidamu. We are kalan ukale nas de nas siyasin tulu. Al chokul bitakum marabuna without mission. This is number one. Number two, al siyasin da junubu Sudan ma bukov nas bitarabuna. Women bukov zulta kujur. And what will be the way forward exactly the way you will switch so that it can help people of South Sudan to be in peace and remain alive like the other people in different countries. Lastly, the homegrown initiative that you are talking, the peace that you are saying that it will be a peace for South Sudan. The revitalized agreement was shifted to be called roadmap. That is for South Sudanese. Now the roadmap has lost until it is called roadmap part 2, according to Ile Lomoro, you have said like that. Now as you are now creating another peace platform, do you think this one will work? Because the more the president and first vice president, the more they do not agree, the more the country will not agree. Why? Because they have divided South Sudanese among themselves. People must be sincere. Say the truth, because the Bible says that say the truth and truth will set you free. You must have to die for right as somebody of God. Now, when are you really going to say the truth to the leaders who create the problem in this country? Not the communities. Nuer and Dinka, they don't have problem, but the leaders have problem. Zange and Balanda, they don't have problem, but the leaders who are from their side have problem. You and people are whatever anybody mentioned that, they don't have problem, but you, the leaders in Juba, including the bishop, they have problem. When will you accept this country exactly to work for it? People are working as if they are being hired from different countries and work in South Sudan, and one day they will go back to their country. Can you accept this country to work for it and the citizens? Because the mandate of the government is to protect the citizens with their property. But right to life now is not available in the country.
All right.
Can you come down exactly and tell the truth to these leaders of this country so that they bring change?
Okay.
They bring total peace. But if you come to the communities, even this council that people are talking about, and the leaders do not agree, the problem will not finish in South Sudan. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So in forms of questions and also comments, including you bishops, you have problems. Is it true?
Yeah. Of course, human beings.
Yes, we're all human beings, of course. We have our weaknesses, indeed.
Problems.
Yes, so I want you now to comment or respond to him. He had a number of questions and also some comments. Yes, it's your turn.
The good thing is that the record of the church is clear. In the 1972 agreements, of course, it was initiated by the church and pushed through. And at the time, we were under the Islamic government, but they were still listening simply because we have a way of pushing things through. We don't do it aggressively, but
and you are respected really compared to now and back then.
Exactly.
Yes.
And in the current country, the church came up with the letter, "Let my people choose," and it was given to President Omar al-Bashir, and he said, "You put that letter into the water and you drink it." That he was not going to accept this, and what the church did was to mobilize the international community, especially the religious people. Of course, Omar al-Bashir had to accept the idea of "let my people choose." We have talked about UNIT earlier. Dr. John Garang did not understand it, but the church pushed it until he had to understand. And it became important because it brought the CPA. So we have the record. Now, coming to prayers, whether we pray and God does not listen to this, and the leaders listen to Kujur more than the church, is because of our understanding of prayers. The sorcerers can pray so that you can die. But for religious leaders, we don't pray for people to die. If you refuse to listen to us, we talk to you until you change your heart. But the sorcerers would say, if you don't listen, you must die, and you die. And of course, we can also pray for people to die, but we don't believe that death can solve problems. Now, we believe when you pray and people have the change of heart, then God is responding to your prayers. Now, coming to telling the truth, how do you tell the truth? This is where the problem is. In the pre-modern understanding of telling the truth is not relative. So you tell the truth in a way that would show there is an objective way of understanding things, and you don't become aggressive in telling the truth. You don't go to a leader and you tell them that you are a bad person. You have decent. They become defensive when you do something like that. In the postmodern way of advocacy, you become aggressive. And you threaten people and all these things. And people in South Sudan don't, especially leaders, don't accept the postmodern way of doing it. So telling the truth is what we are talking about now. We go down to the people, we talk to ourselves as South Sudanese. We don't expect outsiders to solve our problem. That is the truth we are saying. Yes.
All right. No, sir, not for Mukalamar. Radio. Hello, radio. You can still get back to us. We have about 11 minutes to wind up. You can call 0911 or 229-8696. Radio.
Hello.
Yes. Hello, radio.
Sabah al-Khair.
Now.
Bishop Sabah al-Khair.
Sabah Nur.
Mark Deng for good in Medina Mapel.
Yes, welcome Deng.
السؤال بتاعي بقول كده. أنا ما أعرف ناس كنيسة بقول في سلام بكلم في سلام حكومة بكلم في سلام السياسيين بكلم في سلام والشعب بتاع جنوب السودان بكلم في سلام لكن سلام ما قدر يجي هل ومن وين ده منو المشكله من وين؟ المشكله من الحكومه ولا المشكله من السياسيين ولا المشكله من ناس كنيسه ولا المشكله من الشعب بتاع جنوب السودان؟ السلام ما قدر يجي وناس قاعد بكلم فوقه. ده السؤال بتاعي لبيشوب وشكرا.
Alright, shukran jazilan. Radio. Alright, نرجع لبيشوب. Bishop, you can respond to Deng from Mapel.
What Deng is talking about is the real problem. We have different mindsets. The mindset of the government is that peace is to give you what you want. It's not a win-win situation. And what they want actually are positions. I was part of the facilitators in Addis Ababa during the SARS dialogue. When you talk about other things, the talks would go smoothly. But if you were going to talk about power sharing, you would see everybody really engaged. And therefore, their peace was to share power. That was the meaning of peace. For South Sudanese, the peace is to have no war, to have ceasefire, fire. That's the peace that the people are thinking about now. For us as the church, the peace is to have, freedom to move around, freedom to go to your farm and work, freedom to work in town and feed your children, freedom to have friends across the country. That is the meaning of peace. Peace may be the absence of war, but peace actually goes beyond the absence of war. And Dr. Majak one time said that the peace that we have now is called the ceasefire agreement. It's the agreement that can bring the ceasefire for a time, and later on, when the time is about to finish, then you create some other things so that you can have talks again that will bring ceasefire, and then you go for the sharing of power. The peace that we are talking about must focus on the common good. It must not be individually based. It is not for individual interest. It is for the interest of everybody.
Now we have the extended roadmap of the revitalized peace agreement, the 2018 peace deal, We have another initiative called Tumaini, which has been adjourned since February. We have calls from the government to hold out groups to lay down their arms and join the peace in South Sudan. And we are talking about December 2026 general elections. So where does this homegrown peace initiative fit in, let's say, the homegrown peace initiative versus the current status of peace implementation?
We had visited Kenya recently to understand the stage where Tumaini is. And we had to call General Sambeyo to talk to us as the South Sudan Council of Churches. And it appears there that there is no hope for Tumaini. And the way we look at things inside South Sudan here, there seems to be no hope for elections even. Of course, the government is talking about elections, but what happens is like what I always hear, that you want to kick a ball and you go and adjust the goalpost in order for you to score. And everybody is adjusting his or her goalpost, and that is still going to be difficult. And we fear that elections may come and they may lead to fighting also. So we want people to understand peace differently. Not peace for election, not peace for political power sharing, but peace for the people to do their own things, to live, to improve their economy, to improve their name internationally, so that we are not seen as bad people. You go to Uganda now, they look at us as if we are nothing. But we were not seen like that even during the war. So we want to restore our dignity through peace. It is a peace that can go beyond the interests of individuals.
Right. Now, what's your last message, Bishop, as we conclude our interview, especially in regard to the importance and objectives of this homegrown peace initiative for South Sudan?
The last message is to encourage the civil society organizations who are now volunteering to promote this homegrown peace initiative. Ours, as the church, is a moral authority. The campaign is actually for the media and the civil society organizations. I also urge South Sudanese inside South Sudan and outside South Sudan to take this homegrown peace initiative as important, because if we are able later on to solve our problem, even the international community will respect us. They will say South Sudanese were difficult, but when they decided to solve their own problems, they did. So we could become the model of problem solution for other countries if we are able to do this. So I encourage South Sudanese to get involved and promote peace inside their communities, and that's the meaning of homegrown peace.
Right, and something briefly we missed. If someone wants to support this process, how will he or she reach out, and where can they actually get you to render or join the initiative, or support it if someone wants to do that financially or even morally, or to be part of the volunteers?
I think they can fund the civil society, especially those who are now campaigning. We will only be providing the moral authority as the council. We have our own funding. Our funding are defined clearly, so that we are not manipulated by anybody. So if you want to to fund the process, you fund the civil society organizations who are working on this. Those who are working on homegrown peace initiative. You can support them. We want them to go down to the people, especially they are mainly in towns, civil society organization. We want them to go up to the grassroots level to promote this. If they are funded, they can move to that level. That is what I can advise.
All right. Thank you very much, Right Reverend Dr. Zakaria Manyuk, Chairman of the Strategy Committee, South Sudan Council of Churches. Thank you for joining us on The Dawn today.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel.
Right, and with that, we have come to the end of the Dawn edition for today. Join us again tomorrow at the same time to get the latest on what's happening in South Sudan and also beyond the borders. Up next, news in Arabic. On behalf of the Dawn team, Geoffrey Amanya, Darlington Moses, and producer Diko Di Andrew, this has been Emmanuel Joseph Akile. Do have a good day. Let's meet again tomorrow.
تفتش على راديو مثالي؟ آي راديو هو جوابك. ليه تختار آي راديو؟ في 5 الأسباب المغنادل.
الثقة والوصول. بيعتبر آي راديو المحطة الإذاعية الأكثر ثقة وشعبية في جنوب السودان، مدعومة بالاستطلاعات الأخيرة مع قاعدة مستمعين مخلصين. حتصل رسالتك إلى جمهور واسع بشكل فعال.
شبكة واسعة النطاق. آي راديو ليست مجرد محطة إذاعية، إنها شبكة من المحطات المترابطة. لم تكن شريك مع آي راديو. سنقوم ببث برنامجك عبر مواقع متعددة مثل واو، أويل، كواجوك، يامبيو، بور، رنگ، ملكال وبالية، وبيضمن أقصى قدرة من التغطية والتأثير.
التواجد الإقليمي. بتمتد بصمة آي راديو إلى ولاية غرب وشمال بحر الغزال، غرب والاستوائية الوسطى، جونغلي، أعالي النيل ووراب. من خلال التعاون مع آي راديو يمكنك التواصل مع المجتمعات المتنوعة والجماهير المستهدفة في المناطق ديل.
مشاركة المجتمع. الشراكة مع آي راديو بتعني التعامل مع مجتمعات على مستوى الشعبي. رسالتك حتوصل للمستمعين في مواقع مختلف، مما يعزز التفاعلات الهاتفة ويزيد الوعي بعلامة تجارية.
التغطية الشاملة مع محطات في مواقع